With round one, game one officially in the books, your Nashville Predators lose 4-2 to the Vancouver Canucks. Let's talk about it. Really weird game. I don't really know exactly how to explain it. Just a weird ass game. We start in the first. Canucks came out super physical. Really weird to me. I feel like for a team that's the higher seed, that's the better team, that has a lot more depth than the Preds do, trying to play a physical style and take a team out of the game does not seem like the way to win a series to me. It seems more like you should be using that extra skill and that extra depth you have to just try and, push a team up and down the ice. It's not what the Canucks did to start. I think the Preds got a little shocked by it. Neither team really had a lot of shots on goal. I think the first period ended shots on goal 5-3. That's super low score, super low shots on goal total for both these teams. Gotta be. At Preds especially, we need to shoot more. So many depth goals come from just shoot. McCarron has a bunch of goals where, let's be honest, he's just shooting and it goes in. Just gotta start shooting more. Stop getting lured into the depth of their defense and just taking hits and getting the corners and just shoot when you get in the zone. A little bit in the first period, I don't remember how far in it was, but we see Beauvillier get absolutely robbed by Demko. Great pass by Evangelista across the crease. I don't really know what exactly Beauvillier was doing. He just kind of tapped it in the center of the goal instead of, catching it and shooting it in the top part of the net. Demko with an unbelievable save, fully sprawled out. Honestly, that's a momentum turning save. If anything, it's a huge save. The first period continues kind of down that stretch. Lots of physicality, not much, speed, not much space. And then awful weird face-off play. We see the Canucks almost win the face-off. Looks like they're controlling, and then suddenly they turn the puck over. Yossi has it. It ends up in Zucker's hands. He shoots with two screens in front. It hits the post. It goes in. And in a period that, honestly, I don't think the Preds played. They didn't play badly, but I don't think they played great. They end up with a 1-0 lead out of it. And, that's it looks good. They had a momentum going into the break. I'm sure Bruno told the guys to start shooting more. It looked like they did start shooting more. So that was good. Then to start period two, like I said, momentum going into the break, got to keep pushing. 30 seconds in, UC gives up a soft goal. Just can't happen. Puck that, Elias Lindholm, fluke shot, puck that he normally saves, hits him in the chest, bounces off his shoulder and goes in. If we're going to win this series, we can't have those UC lapses. And in all honesty, he's a goalie that should not be having those lapses. He didn't have a great regular season. Many said that from the beginning. I think in previous years, I would have said that the amount of games he played probably is getting to him, but he didn't play as many this year. Lankinen took a lot of starts. I don't know what exactly is wrong with him. Just need to get him back to him. He's going to be a huge contributor in this series because I know people like to put Demko and him on the same scale, but when UC's at his peak, he's one of the best goalies in the league. He's a Vezina candidate. There's not anyone like him, so they need to find a way to get him in rhythm. After that goal, we see the game open up a little bit, which kind of leads to some Canucks pressure. I think after they score, they just the crowd got back into it. Momentum kind of pushed away, and they just kind of started pushing. And the Preds did a great job of weathering the storm. And after weathering the storm, I think because of pushing, either they got tired or they realized their old game plan was working. The physicality from the Canucks kind of went away. They went to a more fast-paced style, and that, honestly, the Preds sort of play into that. Don't get me wrong, I think the Canucks are better at it, but the Preds want to play that up-and-down style too. So we see later the game open up again, like I said. Yossi gets a great chance with no one in front of him, walking in the slot, hits the crossbar. A little unlucky, absolutely destroys the puck, straight beat Demko clean, just shut out the crossbar, a little unlucky. And then later in the period, we see a Teddy Bluger interference on Lazan that I don't exactly understand what he was doing. I don't even know why he did what he did. But, Preds power play, a kind of crappy power play, if I would say. Puck's not really getting worked around. Looked like they didn't have a lot of chances, nothing really dangerous. And then suddenly the puck pops out. Nyquist gets it, passes it over to ROR, who just beats Demko clean from the circle to give the Preds a 2-1 lead. The Canucks considered challenging for goal interference. In all honesty, if they had challenged that, I think they 110% lose. The only way Evangelista interfered with the goalie was moving his glove towards the puck. So, that he didn't prevent him from saving anything. If anything, he helped him. So I as a Preds fan, was really wishing they challenged that. Obviously, they didn't. Good decision by Talkett. So then third period starts out kind of even. You can tell at the beginning, I think the Preds were trying to play more not to lose and less to win, which, as we all know, doesn't go very well. You don't want to do that. With about 11 minutes to go, they give up the first goal. Crowd's back into it. In all honesty, if I was Brunette, I probably would have taken my time out there. Canucks have been putting the pressure on. You could see the goal coming. Puck gets to their best player, Quinn Hughes. Shot through. I think it got tipped by a Pred. I can't tell you for sure, but I think it got tipped by a Pred, and UC just gets beat clean to tie the game at 2. And like I said, I think I would probably use my time out there. Crowd was kind of into it because of how they were playing. And obviously, hindsight is 2020. The Canucks scored 12 seconds later to get the lead. On that third goal, I think there's probably a missed icing. Puck goes past Carey. I'm not exactly sure why they waved it off. And then after the missed icing, Preds lose the battle in the corner. Puck comes out. It goes through a Preds defender's leg. I don't know if it was Carrier, maybe? Someone like that. It goes through a Preds defender's leg. It's picked up by Joshua, and he scores. Just a crappy goal. It's happened a couple times here, the Preds, where they've just lost the battle behind the net, and the puck just kind of slides out and someone scores. Not much UC could do. I mean, it's a guy wide open in the slot. I mean, I don't really expect much from him. But yeah, so in a 12-second span, 12-second lapse, and the Preds go from up 2-1 to down 3-2. And honestly, that was the killer for this team. I mean, they put a little push on the end, pulled the goalie, and then Joseph once again puts an empty netter in, and he just kind of ends the game. I mean, in the end, that was killer. But let's talk about goods. I mean, for plenty of the game tonight, I feel like the Preds were the better team. The Canucks played their style, but the Preds were right there with them. Had their chances. I mean, the Preds had a bunch of power plays, created some chances. Demko obviously robbed Beauvillier. And then honestly, if we don't see a UC bad goal, I think this entire team goes differently. The momentum's the Preds' way. They're kind of pushing, and then UC gives up a bad goal. They score a second goal, 2-0 game. I mean, that game could get out of hand quickly. So, yeah. We also saw some depth scoring, which, as we know, they're going to need. I mean, we can't have a Forsberg-Nyquist ROR goal every game. They're not going to make it to the playoffs that way. So they're going to need depth scoring. Zucker scoring our first goal is, some nice depth scoring. Hopefully we can see McCarron bring a couple more goals in, maybe a Cole Smith or a Kiefer Sherwood. But Zucker's a start. Bo had his chance. Beauvillier had his chance too. Again, another third-line guy with a pass from Evangelista, who's a second-line guy. So, I mean, the depth chances and depth scoring were definitely there. You could see where they're going to come from. Third, they just had lots of chances. I mean, the Canucks also did. The Canucks on the rush chance had some chances, but the Preds had a couple of chances where there was just like Yossi in the slot, or there's a play where Forsberg gave a pass to Lazan in the slot, and Lazan one times it with the screen in front. Demko makes a good save. So the Preds had their chances to score too in this game, and in all honesty, they convert a couple of those, and this game might go differently. In terms of things they need to fix, obviously, as I said before, got to get UC playing his style of hockey, getting back to real UC Saros. Because if he gets back to real UC Saros, this team is dangerous. This team can go on a run. This team can get rid of anybody, eliminate anybody. But they got to get UC back to UC. Power play. They did have the first goal. They were 1 for 1 on the power play at one point. A nice like I said, a kind of bad power play that they then turned into a nice play to lead to a goal. And the bad power play was kind of the theme of the night. I mean, 1 for 4 on the power play in the end. Lots of power plays with 0 shots. They had one shot that was actually Forsberg in the slot, or in the circle off Demko's mask. That was a good chance. That was a nice chance generated by a power play. And that fourth power play had its chances. And I know, honestly, they score, and the game once again goes differently. They get the lead 3-1, and it's going to be a tough comeback for the Canucks. And then lastly, just the lapses. I mean, like I said, that UC has a lapse 30 seconds in the second period. That's a killer goal to give up. And then, in all honesty, in that third period, don't get me wrong, they were playing back more, but I mean, they had been playing good defense, and then just a 20-second lapse that leads to a Quinn Hughes goal, and then that Joseph goal. And I mean, it puts you behind. If we're a team that came out in the third period trying to just hold on and get to the win, when you go behind, you're in deep trouble. I mean, you're not after that team they weren't there. I mean, they pushed a little bit, but if anything, it was the Canucks still pouring it on until they pulled the goalie, and then when they pulled the goalie, it got a couple shots, the puck ends up in their net. So an overall outlook of the game, I think you just got to build on the good and forget the bad. I mean, there was definitely things to build on in this game. Like I said, depth scoring. We saw Evangelista, Novak. That line looked good. We saw some chances if you just convert your chances. And in all honesty, you were in the game. You lost basically 3-2. I know it ended 4-2, but the empty netter, I'll take that off. You lost 3-2 to a team who's way ahead of you in the standings with an ROR goal, but no Forsberg goal. No Yossi goal, not Gus Nyquist, who's the top guy for this team. No goal from him. So I mean, there's scoring is going to come, and then Bruno will have this team ready for game 2. I promise you that. Bruno will talk to this team. They will come out better in game 2. I guarantee it. So in all honesty, looking forward to game 2. Come out better. put a little pressure on the Canucks. And I mean, the Rogers Arena was, I mean, it was quiet tonight when the Canucks were losing. The fans are not like going to impact the game a ton when the Canucks are down. They remind me a lot of Jets fans in that sense. So in all honesty, if you can score once or twice, so it's like in game 2, you can really take the fans out of this game and completely change the game. So Brunette's just got to get the boys ready. Get a little practice in, work maybe on getting seeing some of that physicality and how to work around it and keep playing our game through that physicality, because I wouldn't surprise me if the Canucks nailed it again. It worked. But yeah. So let's get up and ready for game 2, because in all honesty, I think this team's going to come back with a vengeance. And I know people have talked about how the Preds have never won a series where they lose game 1. That doesn't mean shit. Every series is different. So just keep pushing. Just keep being you. This team, and then when we get to Bridgestone, make sure you're there. Make sure you're loud. This team they need the fans. They need people backing them. They got to steal one in Vancouver, but that can come at any point. That can come in game 7. You gotta win your games at home and push when you're in Vancouver. I think it's there. It's definitely there for the taking. With all that being said, that is going to do it for game 1 Preds review. This team's got it, man. This team's got it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all back here after game 2. Peace.